Let me tell you something surprising, and everything I say here is documented in an official CIA file. During the Cold War, a group of Soviet soldiers was allegedly attacked by an alien spacecraft. But what happened next will leave you speechless. All 23 soldiers were turned to stone. That's right, as if some unknown technology had fossilized human bodies within seconds. And the most unbelievable part, this story didn't come from a movie, it came from a real declassified document. This file is over 250 pages long and was handed over to the CIA shortly after the fall of the Soviet Union. Inside, it is a forgotten or perhaps deliberately buried story by the KGB, hidden for decades. Only recently, outlets like Fox News Digital, NDTV, and India Today started publishing its strangest parts. But the full truth, you shall only hear it here. And when we get to the most terrifying part, you'll understand why no one wanted this revealed. The CIA document. It all started with a document hidden for more than a decade inside the CIA's classified archives. A lengthy report, roughly 250 pages long, was allegedly handed over after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It was translated and cataloged in 1993, but only came to light years later through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. In it, the CIA describes an abnormal incident reported by the KGB involving a UFO attack on a Soviet troop. It sounds absurd, but it's officially archived by the United States government. The case resurfaced in April 2025 when media outlets like NDTV, India Today, and Economic Times published excerpts. These outlets reported that the declassified documents describe how 23 soldiers were turned to stone. Fox News Digital also covered the story, noting that the CIA had not denied the file's authenticity. Even if the document was foreign in origin, it remains stored for years in the US intelligence network. And that raises the first red flag. Why keep a fantasy hidden for so long? If it was fiction, why was it never discarded? And if it was real, what else might still be buried? The document exists, the sources are real, and the story is disturbing. But what exactly happened that day on Soviet soil? Next, we uncover the alleged alien attack that paralyzed a military unit. And topic 2, the alien attack. According to the report attributed to the KGB, the incident took place between 1989 and 1990, possibly in Ukraine or Siberia. During a military exercise, 23 Soviet soldiers spotted a flying object hovering over the training field. Alerted, one soldier launched a portable missile and struck the disc, which crashed nearby. That's when the unbelievable happened. 5 humanoid figures, small with large black eyes, emerged from the wreckage. They showed no fear. Instead, they walked slowly until merging into a glowing sphere. The sphere began to emit intense energy described by witnesses as a blinding white light. In a matter of seconds, the 23 soldiers were turned to stone, resembling stone columns. Only 2 soldiers survived, reportedly because they were partially shielded in shadow during the explosion. This description is found in the actual CIA document and was reported by NDTV, India Today, and Fox News Digital. One American analyst described the event as a horrific vision of extraterrestrial revenge. What's even stranger is that no public records exist of additional witnesses, only what's inside the report. And yet the CIA deemed it important enough to preserve for over a decade. If this was mere Soviet disinformation, why did the West guard it so carefully? Or perhaps the story was just too real to be dismissed and too dangerous to be revealed? Up next, what Soviet science allegedly discovered inside the petrified bodies. Topic 3. The KGB SEP's scientific analysis. After the supposed attack, the petrified bodies were swiftly collected by the KGB and transported to a secret lab near Moscow. There, a team of scientists was assigned to study the remains, which showed no signs of life, only complete rigidity. According to the CIA translated report, experts concluded that the soldiers' cells had been transformed into a limestone-like substance. In other words, the transformation was not just physical, but biological, something no known technology could explain. This part of the report was highlighted by Fox News Digital and the Economic Times in April 2025. The data suggests that the energy emitted by the alien sphere acted on a cellular level, restructuring the molecular makeup of the bodies. Even by today's standards, such a transformation is considered impossible with existing human science. The report also states that the KGB classified the event as an extreme strategic threat and suppressed all public mention. The evidence was sealed, the two survivors disappeared from official records, and the lab was shut down years later. Only the report remained, silent, buried among Cold War files. Why would the KGB go to such lengths to erase this? Did they discover something beyond our comprehension? The report provides no answers, only questions no one dares to ask. And that's exactly what drew the CIA's attention and eventually the world's. Next, we explore why the CIA kept this document hidden for so long. The CIA sets silence. Even as a foreign document, the CIA kept the file classified for over a decade, hidden from public view. It was only released after multiple FOIA requests, which raised even more questions. If it was fiction, why wasn't it discarded like so many irrelevant reports? The truth is, the CIA didn't just keep it. They translated, digitized, and indexed it in their official intelligence network. This fact was confirmed in reports from NDTV, India Today, and Interesting Engineering. Some experts suggest the CIA collects all types of foreign intel, even rumors. But ex-CIA agent Mike Baker admitted that certain unverifiable files are kept when patterns start to emerge. In other words, the agency might have seen something familiar in this report, something they'd seen before. UFO researcher Nick Pope, who worked for the UK's Ministry of Defence, adds that governments keep what they can't explain. And when the unexplainable repeats itself, silence becomes policy. What exactly was the CIA hoping to find by preserving this file? Are there other reports with similar light attacks or petrification phenomena? The mystery isn't just in the content, but in how it was hidden in plain sight. Next, we dive into the origins of the document and the theory that this was part of something bigger, a KGB protocol for non-human threats. The KGB sets theory on non-human forces. Although the report doesn't explicitly use the word extraterrestrial, the way the events are described implies the KGB saw this as beyond human understanding. The document labels the event as unknown origin interference with unconventional military potential. This suggests the KGB analysts believed they were dealing with a force that defied all known physics. Journalist Sutirth Opatranobis from the Hindustan Times noted that the lack of scientific coherence only deepened suspicions of non-human entities. The KGB apparently treated the case as a high-level strategic threat and shut it down. Interestingly, in the final years of the USSR, several Soviet intelligence files began mentioning terms like energy anomalies and dimensional interference. These documents are now hard to access, but according to researchers like Paul Stonehill, the KGB had internal protocols for sky-related anomalies. The same theme appears in other Soviet-era reports involving glowing spheres, faceless beings, and silent craft. According to Russian ufologists, the petrification case was the most extreme and therefore the most tightly suppressed. To the KGB, it was no longer a matter of if there was something out there, but how to contain it. What if the KGB had known about these forces for much longer? What if this event was just one of many, all buried in classified vaults? The lack of official denial and the technical language suggests something much bigger. Because when a superpower creates defense protocols for the invisible, it means the invisible has already made contact. Next, let's look at what the media revealed and what they didn't. Global media reactions. Although the document was available through FOIA since the 2000s, it remained buried for years in CIA servers. Only in April 2025 did major outlets begin publishing its contents, igniting renewed global interest. NDTV was among the first to report in detail, highlighting the document's references to a blinding light and petrified soldiers. India Today and Economic Times followed, calling it the strangest alien incident of the Cold War. Fox News Digital covered the case too, stating it had reopened the debate about what the CIA really knows about aliens. Fox's article noted that the CIA neither confirmed nor denied the file's authenticity, only acknowledging it existed. Interesting Engineering tackled the scientific angle, questioning how a sphere of light could biologically alter human cells. Journalist Arpan Rai from The Independent pointed out that the report's technical tone showed serious Soviet analysis. Even the History Channel in the US, known for Ancient Aliens, referenced the case in a special on government-documented anomalies. The story went viral, but with a common thread: no one could prove it, and no one dared to debunk it. And that sets where the real mystery lies. If it were fake, why did respected outlets publish it? And if the truth is hidden in scattered fragments, who will piece it together? The media showed glimpses, but the full picture is still obscured. Let's close by asking what this all reveals, not about aliens, but about us. The story you just heard didn't come from some obscure blog. It's in a real file translated by the CIA and reported by major outlets like Fox News Digital, NDTV, India Today, and Economic Times. The file speaks of a blinding light, beings with black eyes, and 23 Soviet soldiers who never came back from training. And if this really happened, what else is hidden in America's intelligence vaults or the KGB's forgotten archives? Maybe this is just a fragment of something far bigger, a truth no one had the courage to say out loud. But now you know, and maybe you'll start to see the world a little differently. If this video gave you chills, you're not alone. Leave a comment. Do you think this event was real or Cold War disinformation? Your opinion might open the door to new theories and new investigations they don't want you to start. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell, because we're just getting started uncovering the secrets they tried to erase. And yes, the sources for every part of this story are linked in the video description. Sources cited in this video: NDTV, NTV.com, Fox News Digital, foxnews.com, India Today, indiatoday.in, Economic Times, economictimes.com, Interesting Engineering, interestengineering.com, Independent, independent.co.uk,